everybody, and welcome to our Lagiacrus and Seregios bow builds. We're going to be covering a couple different things. We're going to have a overall build that you can use with literally any bow in the game. We're going to have one dedicated to taking out monsters that are weak to thunder, and I'm going to have a full Seregios armor setup for bow if you are like me and adrenaline rush just really gets you excited. You don't know why, but it does. I also have changed how I play bow, specifically with the Seregios bow, so we'll also be touching on that. We've got a lot to cover, so let's just jump right into the first build. So the first build we're going to be taking a look at is what I would consider your new go-to build if you don't want to specifically build against a certain monster, or if you don't need more defense, stuff like that. And this is a build that got some nice upgrades with the introduction of Lagiarus. So you can use this against any monster in the game. You can use it no matter what bow you're using, whether it's elemental or not. You are good to go. So here are the armor pieces that you're going to be using and the skills that you're going to be getting. You have the Gore Helm, Numinous Shroud B, which is from Zosia, Lagiacrus Braces, Gore Coil, and Lagiacrus Greaves. Yes, it's going to be really difficult for us to get away from two-piece Gore. It's just so good, especially for bow when we have less access to crit skills like Maximum Might. We can use it, it doesn't work as well for us. So two-piece Gore is still here, but we do have some new stuff. So the first thing that we have that's new is the Lagiacrus Braces. This is going to give us 2 points of stamina surge and 1 weakness exploit. Bows love both of these things. We also have the Lagiacrus Greaves, which gives us 2 points of weakness exploit and latent power. Latent power isn't really anything that you're gonna like write home about in this build because ultimately we only have 1 point of it, but it will give you plus 10% affinity and reduce your stamina depletion by 30% when active. So this is something that you're probably just gonna proc naturally throughout the fight, but you're not gonna go out of your way to proc it. The other thing that's different is we are now using Counter Attack Charm 3 instead of going for something like Weakness Exploit. The reason for that is because you can now upgrade it to 3 points of Adrenaline Rush. Bows love Adrenaline Rush because what are you doing all the time? You're dodging all the time, and this is going to be giving you plus 20 attack just from your charm alone. So we really like that as well. So the skills that you're going to end up with purely from your armor are Weakness Exploit level 5, Adrenaline Rush level 3, Constitution level 3, Agitator level 3, Antivirus level 3, Stamina Surge level 2, Latent Power level 1, Burst level 1, Evade Window level 1, and Coalescence. Now, what I really like about this build is a couple things. It feels kind of comfy because you have 2 points of Stamina Surge when normally it's kind of hard to fit that in. But we also have 1 point of evade window, which is going to make hitting those perfect dodges easier for us. Now, in the decorations, I did add a physique jewel. You don't necessarily have to have this here, but if you do go down to Constitution level 2 by removing this and adding something like, I don't know, maybe you want thunder resistance, or maybe you really like speed eating and you want to put that on there. This is kind of a free slot, but just be warned, if you do go down to 2 Constitution, you're going to want to eat Black Belt High. That is the delish shrooms. So get to farming your mushrooms if you want to take that down. Now we are using 2 piece of the new Lagiacrus armor, which gives us access to Azure Bolt 1. This is going to temporarily increase our affinity, and it's going to deal extra thunder damage upon buildup. Now this extra thunder damage is similar to like the Zosia weapons. It's similar to Rathalos armor. It's that random kind of burst of yellow numbers that you see happen. Now this sounds really good, and I wish it was better, but it gives you 15% affinity temporarily. So this lasts for about 20 seconds. But as soon as it's gone, you're gonna have 30 seconds where you can't get it back. It goes on cooldown. So I love the idea of when I first saw this, I was like, ooh, maybe we can just run like 4-piece Laggy and we don't need Gore anymore. But unfortunately, it does have that 30-second cooldown. So you can't keep it up all the time, but hey, it's a nice bonus. You're going to have extra random thunder damage happening, which is going to be just a good little bonus. It's not a lot of damage, so it's not something you want to go crazy about, but you do have that extra burst of damage, and you will get 15% extra affinity, 20 seconds, and then a 30-second cooldown. So again, it's just stuff that's nice to have, And because these pieces individually are so good, because weakness exploit, stamina surge, latent power, you're just going to be using them anyway. So it's a nice little bonus. Now, like I said at the beginning, you can use this with absolutely any bow that you want to use. Whether you want to use Artian, you want to use a non-elemental bow, you want to go with Seregios bow, go crazy. You can use it with anything. This really is the catch-all build for whatever you're fighting and whatever you want to use. Next, we're going to be taking a look at a setup that is using Lagiarus armor to go against monsters that are weak to thunder. So this is going to be really good against TU2. It's really good against Seregios and Chatacabra, I guess. But this is utilizing the Lagiarus bow specifically and building into that. So let's take a look at the details. This armor is going to be utilizing, again, 2-piece Gore and 2-piece Lagiarus, but it differs in the previous build because we're shooting for max thunder resistance. Now, the reason that we're doing that is because on the Lagiarus weapons, it has convert thunder resistance, which is going to increase your weapon's elemental attack proportional to your thunder resistance. So we are rocking the Lagiarus Male A because of this, because it gives us 2 points of thunder resistance, and then we just need to slot in a thunder resistance jewel, and we are maxed out on the thunder resistance that we can get on our armor. So the pieces that you're using are the Numinous Crown B, Lagiarus Male A, Lagiarus Braces B, Gore Coil A, and Gore Greaves B, again with that counter attack jewel. This is going to give you Weakness Exploit level 5, Constitution level 5, Adrenaline Rush level 3, Thunder Resistance level 3, Stamina Surge level 3, Antivirus level 3, Counter Strike level 2, Agitator level 1, Burst level 1, Recovery Speed level 1, and Flinch Free level 1. Now, as you can see, we actually have some pretty comfy stuff in here. We have max Constitution, so we don't need to worry about eating specifically to make our Constitution feel better. We have max Stamina Surge, so that's going to feel great. And then we have Recovery Speed and Flinch Free. A note on the Counter-Strike, you don't have to run Counter-Strike if you don't want to. It's just basically a free level 2 slot. You can put in Part Breaker if you want, you can grab a Coalescence, you can grab Evade Window, Evade Extender. Honestly, this build would be fairly comfy if you added Evade Window into it as well. So if that's something that you really want in your build, there is totally the space for that. On the bow, I'm using Bolt Bandolier because the Lagiarus bow already comes with level 2 Tetrad Shot. So when you throw on Bolt Bandolier, not only are you maxing your thunder attack, but you're also maxing your Tetrad Shot. Now, just for a little reminder of what Tetrad Shot does, it's going to increase the affinity of your coatings from the 4th shot. So from 4 to 10, you have increased affinity. And then on the 4th and 6th shot of your coating, you're just going to have more attack damage. So I've loved this skill from the very beginning of Wilds, and it continues to be amazing. We also have a critical jewel on the 2 and the 1 slot. This is just a really good build against anything that's weak to thunder. You have the convert thunder resistance, but you also have the 2-piece laggy, which is going to enable you to have those random thunder bits of damage happening, increased affinity. It's just a really solid build, very comfy, very good against monsters weak to thunder. And if you are wondering, how is the Lagiarus bow? How does it match up against other things? It is officially the best thunder bow in the game, and here's the reason for that. 1, the thunder element is in a really good spot. It's very high, it's good. The attack is in a good spot. It also comes with Tetrad Shot, which again, we just spoke about how much we like it. And the only other thunder bow that you'd really want to use is the Fulgur Anjanath bow, because it has close range coatings, but this comes with critical element. It's got less attack, less element, and it's got a worse skill on it. Whereas the Lagiarus bow comes with higher attack, higher thunder, higher equipment skills, and it also has close range coating. So this is now your go-to bow for anything that is weak to thunder, which is great because we love having things be really good when they're new. Now, the final build we're going to talk about is one that I put together using 4-piece Seregios armor because simply I love the idea of Adrenaline Rush being even better. I like dodging. I use a bow. I dodge a lot. So we're going to talk about that. It's definitely not a meta build. It's not going to be one of the best builds that you can run. But if you're anything like me and just love using new stuff when it's available, then I'm going to make a build for you where it is now viable to use and you're going to have a totally fine time using it. So this armor is of course using 4-piece Seregios. The reason for that is because it's going all in on Adrenaline Rush. So Razor's Edge 1 that you get from 2 pieces extends the duration of Adrenaline Rush, and then if triggered again while the skill is active, extends the effect duration once. Razor's Edge 2 gives us additional attack increase when we do extend that effect. I'll take you guys into the training room to show you exactly what that looks like. But before we go there, I just want to explain what it actually does. So the base duration of Adrenaline Rush is 30 seconds. This is going to extend it to 45 seconds. If you perform another successful dodge whilst that is active, Adrenaline Rush will then be extended for additional 15 seconds. So this ends up extending the entirety of Adrenaline Rush to 1 minute instead of 30 seconds. So running Razor's Edge 2, you're essentially doubling your Adrenaline Rush time that it's active. In terms of how much of an attack increase you get, I believe it is a 5% attack increase. So if you have 252 attack on the Seregios bow, for example, you will then get 5% more attack when you trigger Razor's Edge 2. So let me get you a visual for that real quick before we go into exactly what you're going to be running. I'm going to show you what it looks like to proc Razor's Edge 1 and then Razor's Edge 2 and what that does for our attack. So I'm at 298 attack right now on my Seregios bow. I dodged again and I'm now at 310. Now, as you can see in the top left-hand corner above our health bar, that is our buff from Razor's Edge. That is the increase of our attack power. And this is going to last us for 60 seconds. Now, you'd think, why would you not just want to use this then? This sounds pretty good. It's because once it goes on cooldown, you have to dodge twice. So you're not just dodging once and getting it right back. You have to dodge twice in order to trigger it all again. Because as you can see, dodging is not increasing that timer. It's at 15 seconds. And if we dodge again, 10 seconds, it does not increase it. So as soon as you proc Razor's Edge 2, you have it for 60 seconds and then it goes on cooldown. 2, 1, it's now on cooldown. So if we dodge once, we proc Razor's Edge 1. We got to dodge again in order to get Razor's Edge 2. Razor's Edge 2. Now we're back to 310 attack. So it's just a little inconsistent with how much you can keep it up for, because you do have to hit those 2 dodges. But I don't freaking care because it's Adrenaline Rush and I love Adrenaline Rush. So if you are a big fan of Adrenaline Rush like I am, here is a setup with the Seregios 4-piece to use all of the fun stuff if you so want to, that I think performs totally fine. I've done many hunts with it, and honestly, the difference is really not that much in terms of keeping consistent damage up. So we're using the Seregios helmet, the Zoshia chest piece, and then the Seregios arms, waist, and legs. And then we are using the Exploiter charm because we do not have access to a lot of weakness exploit, but we do have access to a ton of Adrenaline Rush just from the armor. It's all over the place. Adrenaline Rush, you get to level 5 just with the armor alone. Now, other skills that you have Adrenaline Rush level 5, of course. You have Weakness Exploit level 5, Constitution level 4, Agitator level 4, Divine Blessing level 2, Burst level 1, Evade Window level 1, Bleed Resistance level 1, and then of course you do have that 4-piece of the Seregios armor set bonus. Now, if you wanted to make this even comfier, you could absolutely take out some of these physique jewels and add another Divine Blessing, so you have Divine Blessing level 3. These are really just whatever you want to do with them. You can do whatever you want with these level 1s. So if you're finding that you're dying a lot, then throw on another protection jewel. Maybe get some defense. It's really up to you. Whatever you find comfortable. But this is what I landed on in terms of it feeling good, feeling comfy, and feeling like I'm actually doing some damage. Now, I would like to talk to you guys about the Seregios bow, because I am pretty excited about this bow, and it's actually kind of changed the way that I play bow. Now, what is the reason for that? So let's take a look at the bow itself. It has 252 attack, and it has 25% affinity. It also comes with blade scale loading, and what this does is when you dodge, it adds 3 special coatings on top of your already loaded coating. So if you have 10 coatings, for example, you now have 13, and 3 of those are these special ones. Now, what does blade scale coating do? It increases your damage by 25%. And the reason that this is so exciting and has changed the way that I play is because it doesn't just increase your regular shots by 25%. It increases your Thousand Dragon shots by 25%. It increases your Flying Swallow shot by 25%. It is increasing just your attacks that you do by 25%. Now, I have been someone that has been wanting to make Thousand Dragons work in Wild since the beginning of time. I loved using Thousand Dragons in World. It was very different though, because you could load your Slinger ammo into it, and Pierce ammo was awesome. And there was so many of these Slinger ammo was so good with Thousand Dragons. But in Wilds, there's some stuff that it does, but it just never really felt worth it. Well, now that we have blade scale loading, I am actually making use of Thousand Dragons a lot more, because when I use that attack, it does 25% more damage. And Thousand Dragons already does quite a lot of damage. So let me show you how I have been running my Seregios bow. I have been running it with, this is something that stays the same, True Shot Jewel and Critical Jewel. The other jewel depends on how committed you want to be to Thousand Dragons. If you just want to like mix it in here and there, then I would take out the Pierce Jewel and put in a Critical Boost Jewel. It's going to be more consistent for you. But if you want to go all in, you can throw in a Pierce Jewel. So let's talk about why I'm doing this. So piercing shots, the Pierce Jewel, it increases the attack of Thousand Dragons. It also increases the attack of Dragon Piercer, but I'm more so focused on Thousand Dragons here. Now I am pairing this with True Shot Jewel, which is special ammo boost. And this increases the power of Dragon Piercer, Thousand Dragons, and Tracer. So we are increasing our damage by 25% on that Thousand Dragons just with blade scale coating, because that's what blade scale coating does. But then we're also further increasing the damage of Thousand Dragons with Pierce Deco and the True Shot Deco. So I've actually been mostly using Thousand Dragons, but I've also been throwing in Tracer, because special ammo boost also increases the power of Tracer. And I gotta say, it feels really good. Is it the best thing that you could possibly do? It's probably still better for you to mostly be doing dash dancing and press and circle and shooting. But the thing that Thousand Dragons does that I really love is, one, it helps create wounds. So you create wounds a lot faster when you're using Thousand Dragons. And on these monsters where it takes you a little while to create wounds, having wounds more often is a good thing. It also seems to do pretty decent KO damage. So when a monster is weak or tired or whatever, it will tend to knock them over. Now, when you pair Thousand Dragons with Tracer, the Thousand Dragons will just blow up the Tracer shot. So you have all of that damage coming out from Thousand Dragons and all of that damage coming out from you blowing up the Tracer. I just really like it. I think it's a really, really fun playstyle. I love seeing myself with a bow getting KOs more often, making wounds more often. It just feels incredibly fun. Now, the downside of Thousand Dragons, and what has always been the downside, is that it is a longer animation, so you do have to be more careful when you are using Thousand Dragons. But I also find that fun because I'm learning these new monsters, and I'm learning when I have these larger windows of damage that I can do, and it's just been incredibly fun. So if you do want to join me in using Thousand Dragons, you can go all in with this setup, or if you just want to start working it into your playstyle, throw on a Critical Jewel. This is going to be really good because the Seregios bow already has 25% affinity. Like, your affinity is going to be really good, especially if you use the first build that we talked about. Your affinity is going to be really high, and then you also have this increased damage with special ammo boost for your Thousand Dragons and your Tracer. So there you go. Fun times, lots of fun. This is now, I think, my favorite bow in the game, just because it plays into what I love about bow so much. It plays into dodging. I love being in the monster's face and dodging everything, and I love using Thousand Dragons, and I finally feel like I'm getting some real true worth out of Thousand Dragons with the Seregios bow. So that is going to be it for our new armor and stuff with Lagiarus and Seregios. I will have more builds that are comfy builds. As we get towards TU2, I'll have a video about hunting him and what I recommend you do after we get our hands on actually fighting him. Let me know what you think of the builds. Give them a try. What do you think about using Thousand Dragons with the Insurgent bow? It's fun, right? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for another bow video. Bye!